Hey there everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me here again today. Hope the week's off to a good start for you. It is a rainy, gray Monday here. It has been all day and it's going to be the rest of the day. It's not that cold here, but like I've told you before, I'm cold natured, a little chilly in the house. Only used the heat to take off the edge a little this morning. So anyhow, wanted to talk about today why the raw food diet was easy for me and to give yourself a break. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you haven't already done it, please go down and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button now, then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll know when a new video comes out. You know, being back in the States for over a year now, July was a year, so for the year and a few months, and after doing this, you know, for a long time and interacting with a lot of people, I understand things, and sometimes I probably don't express it as well as I should, or give explanations, but it's kind of hard on via video, YouTube, or whatever to tell every aspect of your life every time you do a video or you put the piece of content out there. And yeah, I mean, it's not something I've ever taken for granted. I did understand my advantage in this thing, but I don't want to come off, well, number one, you guys know I'm not an extremist. I'm not fully 100% true believer, raw. You know those people that are just a little bit out there. But I'm very high raw. I've been very, very high raw for 6.5 years. And I'm going to tell you why it was so easy for me, this lifestyle. I was living in San Jose, Costa Rica when I came across all this stuff, became a vegan, started eating raw food and all that kind of stuff. Now, in general, there's fruit you're not going to walk around Costa Rica and not find fruit. Okay, I'm not going to say that. A few people have been in little remote places and they've told me, oh, I didn't find anything here. But in general, even in the city, I couldn't walk 30 feet without finding fruit. And we're not talking about, how it is here in the markets, supermarkets in the States, where everything in the market, you're going to have to take it home and ripen it for days. Man, I had ripe fruit at my fingertips all the time. I'd just walk down. Anytime I went into town, I'd take my bags with me and I'd just go by this little kiosk, give me 30 bananas, and they'd count them off for me. 10 cents a piece back then. But I also had other stuff, I took, like the video yesterday, I love my bananas, but I like other fruit too. Just don't really have that much access here. The mangoes are so-so. They're still getting these Brazilian ones. They didn't have a lot of flavor to them, the ones that I've had. But yeah, down there, there was fruit everywhere. There was not just bananas, there was pineapple, papaya. I mean, you would not believe just walking through the city how many papaya and pineapple you'll see. I mean, just unlimited numbers. There is common as bananas there. So I had all that. Not too far, like maybe a 10-minute walk, there was an organic farmer's market every Saturday. It was a really fun event, a bunch of little hippie types there. They had food, they had organic stuff. And I bought a lot of fruit and stuff there. In the very beginning days, I was a juicer. So I would most of my trips, all my space would be with greens. As I evolved through this lifestyle, it became more about the fruit. Still got the greens, of course. So, okay, I'm in the city. When I come to this lifestyle, it's easy. It's easy because there's fruit everywhere. Okay, now in the city, in San Jose, it's a little bit higher altitude, and certain times of the year it rains more. So it can still be a little chilly even though you're in Costa Rica. So I still ate cooked food while I was in San Jose. I was in San Jose about 10 months before I moved back to the beach where I lived most of the time in my days in Costa Rica, a little beach called Playa Jaco. So I'd been doing the lifestyle about 8 or 9 months when I moved back to Playa Jaco. Well, when I moved back to Playa Jaco, the raw just went through the roof. In fact, the whole time I was living in the beach, after I'd come back from the city, I went vegan in the city, raw in the city. From then, I came back and I lived in Jaco for about 3.5 years, and I really didn't eat cooked food during that period, other than when I came to the States. I would come every 3 months to visit my mom, get a new visa, what have you, but at the beach, I was going 3-month stretches. I didn't even think about cooking food. In fact, in the house there was just like a little electric, 2-plate thing, and it was hot there, so that wasn't even an issue. It wasn't like I wanted foods hot. Hot food. So the raw became even more easy when I moved to the beach, because now I've got access to mad amounts of fruit all the time. Plus, I'm in a really hot place where I'm sweating all the time. I only use my air conditioner at night, so I'd sit around the house during the day without a shirt on or whatever, and you'd sweat a little bit, and then I'd turn it on for a while to sleep at night. But your body just didn't want it. And I remember distinctly a number of times talking about raw food back then, even when I was a drunk, but from a different aspect, just telling them like, man, I've been eating a lot of salads and this and that. I just don't feel like cooking any food because it just drags me down. So I don't know, maybe years ahead I was starting to make the connection. It just drags me down. But it's so hot there. That's why I always used to tell people, if you were to have come and visited me, or if we do a retreat or something in Playa Jaco at the beach in Costa Rica, I don't give a shit what you're eating. I don't care if you're coming off the standard American diet or transition or this or that. You are in Mecca. You are in Zion for fruit. I would almost think if you wanted to, you could straight walk out of the sad world, get on a plane, come down there, come to Jaco with me, and you'd be raw that day, because there's just so much abundant fruit around. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. So, I don't want people to see me. I update my story from time to time. I don't want people to see me and think, well, he says it's so easy. He says it's so easy. I understand. I had privilege. I had vegan privilege, because, I was this vegan. I wasn't born in the tropics, but my vegan self was born in the tropics. And, that's why you got to give yourself a little bit of a break. If you're not living in the tropics, you don't have access to all that abundance at a very good price. You do the best you can. So don't expect like you necessarily going to maybe take to it as quickly as I am, or you might. But I do realize it's a little bit more of a challenge for some people. I will tell you one thing, though. I'm in Alabama right now. Not the greatest access to stuff. But I've got in the back of my mind, my mother's elderly and in a nursing home. So I've got in the back of my mind at some point, in the not too distant future, in the next several years, I'm getting back to the tropics, because this lifestyle wouldn't really make sense to me personally. Don't anybody read anything. To me personally, I wouldn't embrace the raw thing if I didn't somehow think I was going to live there again. And that's why the raw made so much sense to me. Listen, it's wonderful. Raw food's great. I'm not discouraging you to do it anywhere you are. But when people, I stay in my lane. When people are writing me from Europe, Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, people in the northern parts of the United States, and they're asking me, questions about doing it in the cold. Well, I'm not your best source, because if I had come to this lifestyle up north in a cold country or whatever, I can see me still being vegan. But I just don't know if I'd have the motivation to try to be a fully raw vegan in a place where it was just so hostile, in a place, as much as I love my bananas, talking about that one yesterday, I know I'm kind of in a holding pattern. And also, too, there's times of the year when I can, when I was getting mangoes for the longest time, there. But bottom line, if I knew I was living in a place permanently that I was never going to have access to a lot of that tropical goodness, I haven't seen a papaya since Woodstock. I haven't seen I've seen pineapple. In fact, I think I'm going to buy a pineapple here. But, I got to have that tropical fruit. I got to have my mangoes all the time. Papaya. I didn't realize how much I liked papaya till I came to the States. So realize, that's why it kind of worked for me. And that's why I'm not fanatic about it, because, listen, unless you are in really good circumstances, perfect circumstances, or you got a lot of money, a lot of time, or you're one of those people that's really gung-ho and you're constantly working on your food, the 100% thing just doesn't make, a lot of sense to me. But You know, like I said, I was kind of running late getting the video done today. Didn't really have a subject and just thought I would kind of clarify myself a little bit more because I've been getting a lot of new subs. I've been getting a lot of people on the Instagram that have come over here. And it just is what it is. My life is chaos. I'm going to finish with this. I want you to resonate with things I say, and that's why I try to use examples and use other people and whatever, because you're just not going to resonate with me all that much because I don't really have a peer group. I'm an odd person. I'm 54, never married, no kids, never owned a house. So I kind of live like a college kid or somebody just out of college, you know. I'm not, you know, so your mileage may vary on that. That's another tune too. The reason I mention that is because I'm a loner. I've spent most of the last 2 years by myself, other than going out and exchanging pleasantries, you know, out and about. I know I could understand, you know, you've got kids events you've got to go to, you got family, big family maybe, you've got obligations, you know, so it's tougher for other people, but do the best you can. Don't beat yourself up because we need to be happy with our eating more than anything else. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.